what's going on, guys? So I've decided for this next video it's going to be a little bit more in-depth than most of my videos because it actually requires it to be. This is being I'm doing a test on what assault rifles pull up the fastest, or I like to call it the ADS quickness test. I have done this test using Sony Vegas Pro 13 and doing a frame-by-frame movement using milliseconds to measure the time. Before I really get into it though, it don't sound confusing as hell, 1000 milliseconds equals 1 second. So for example, 250 milliseconds equals a quarter of a second. That way, when I start throwing these milliseconds at you guys have some sort of understanding of how it affects your actual pull-up time. Anyway, I double-checked all the assault rifles and even triple-checked on some of the assault rifles I couldn't believe at first. The fast hands perk and the quick draw attachment will be used in this test as they both help you in some way, shape, or form pull up quick. But without further ado, let's get into it, guys. Alright, let us take a look at the KN-44 first. This is probably my favorite assault rifle in this game. It's a little bad in recoil, but it's crazy deadly. I mean, it's not that bad, it just bounces a little bit. The KN-44, with no surprise, is a standard in the pull-up time. Let's take a look at the results I came up with. Now, the KN-44 with nothing on it, no quick draw, and no fast hands, it is 250 milliseconds, which is standard in assault rifles. The fast hands with sprinting takes 233 milliseconds, which is a little bit of a difference. It's not too much, probably nothing really that noticeable, but still will probably help. The quick draw, standing still, doing nothing, is 183 milliseconds. Running kind of gives you a little bit of disadvantage, guys. So if you have quick draw on, you're only going to put on fast hands, as both fast hands and quick draw give you one hell of a bonus. 167 milliseconds. That is the best you can come up with in assault rifles. That's an 83 millisecond drop from 250 to 167, which is a hell of a difference. Alright, now the HVK seems like it's doing a lot better lately. I'll admit when the game first came out, it was not one of the assault rifles I would have picked, and is also pretty standard in pull-up speed. Let's take a look at these results. Alright, with HVK with nothing on it, 250 milliseconds, that's pretty standard in the assault rifles. Fast hands while sprinting is 234 milliseconds, which is 1 millisecond more than the KN-44. With quick draw on it is 184 milliseconds, again 1 millisecond more than the KN-44. And again, guys, fast hands, quick draw gives you a bonus, both while sprinting, is 167 milliseconds. Pretty damn good. The Man-O-War is my second favorite assault rifle because of the damage stats it gets. But I was really shocked to see the pull-up speed on the Man-O-War, it's just crazy. Let's take a look at these results. Man-O-War, nothing on it. It's a sad 301 milliseconds. That's pretty damn slow. 250 milliseconds is the standard in assault rifles. With fast hands on sprinting, it's only 284 milliseconds. That's really nothing noticeable at all, but probably still helps. With quick draw on, it's 217 milliseconds. That's a hell of a lot faster than 301. That's definitely going to make a difference. However, you put both these fast hands and quick draw setups on and you get 200 milliseconds. That's almost 100 milliseconds faster than have nothing on it. And I'm going to tell you something right now, guys. It's 83 milliseconds for the average in assault rifles when you have both that setup, that fast hands and quick draw. This is almost 100. You're going to be absolutely murdering people if you do this setup, I'm telling you. Let's take a look at the next one. Okay, the XR2 is again a gun that I did not think it was that great, but it's become better over time with the gun killing at one burst most of the time. Let's take a look at the pull-up time it takes. The XR2, nothing on it, pretty standard, 250 milliseconds like in most assault rifles. With fast hands and sprinting, guess what? It does absolutely nothing. 250 milliseconds for fast hand sprint, which is the same as nothing on it. So save that created class slot unless you're looking to use it just to swap up as faster, as that's another feature that fast hands comes with it. With quick draw on though, it's 183 milliseconds, which is pretty fast considering it goes from 250 to 183. Both while sprinting though, both fast hands and quick draw while sprinting is 167 milliseconds, which means that fast hands doesn't even work unless you have quick draw on. So always keep that in mind, guys. Let's get into the next one. Okay, as you guys should know, the ICR is going to be your most accurate assault rifle in this game. So a grip is definitely not necessary when handling this gun, but a quick draw unfortunately might be. Let's take a look at the results. Okay, the ICR standard with nothing on it is 233 milliseconds, which is a tad bit faster, with the other assault rifles registering at 250 milliseconds, which means that your ICR with nothing on it is going to be your fastest gun pulling up in this game. Fast hands, unfortunately, like the XR, does nothing for you if you use it by itself. It still registers at 233 milliseconds, which is the same as nothing on it. With quick draw on this ICR, it takes 184 milliseconds, and same deal as the XR, fast hands doesn't work unless you use both. So when you do both, it takes 167 milliseconds, and that's why you're sprinting, of course. Alright, the Shiva is that one gun that makes you aroused, or it can just drive you nuts because it's a 2-hit kill capability. However you plan on running with it, you have to know this. The Shiva, nothing on it, standard 250 milliseconds, but guess what? Does it again, fast hand sprint, does nothing for it. So again, save that created class spot for something else. With quick draw on, it's 183 milliseconds, and same deal as the other two guns, both while sprinting, it's 167 milliseconds. So know this, that if you use the Shiva, you're going to need to use both if you want to get the fastest pull-up time. If you plan on sitting with it like most people do, I'm sorry to say, then quick draw will just work for you. You don't need fast hands. Alright, the M8A7 is another gun I didn't really think was that worth unlocking, especially permanently unlocking, because it is the last level gun under Prestige, but a one-hit kill 85% of the time now. It's become crazy deadly. As we take a look at these results, the M8A7, nothing on it, standard 250 milliseconds. With fast hands sprinting, finally fast hands does something, is 233 milliseconds for that. With quick draw on, it's 184 milliseconds, and both fast hands and quick draw on while sprinting pulls up at a 167 milliseconds, just like the rest. Alright guys, that is all the assault rifles I have to talk about as far as ADS speed or pull-up speed. I'm going to put up a couple charts for you guys. If you guys want to pause the video, take a picture, do a screenshot, or you can just come back to the video. It's good enough for me. But I just want to summarize for you guys what I talked about throughout this video. Know that the Man of War is the slowest gun pulling up. The ICR is the fastest with nothing on it. The XR, the ICR, and the M8A7 all require you to use fast hands and quick draw if you're going to use fast hands at all, because fast hands alone does nothing for it. That's it for me, and if you guys liked the video, abuse that like button. If you guys want to see some more Black Ops 3 videos, you know what to do, sub-a-dub it, and I will catch you all later. Have a good one.